Shall we start now? Was it you who was asking questions?
Yes, I have a question of my own this time.
MashaAllah.
It's about the names of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Al-Muzammil and Al-Muddathir.
That's right.
The traditions say that he was named those names because when he first received the revelation, he was very frightened.
And he says, Zammiluni, Zammiluni, that's right, yes.
And my question is, how can the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam be frightened from a revelation from God?
You see, the fear has a very wide variety of meanings, and the fear should be understood in the context of the person who is afraid and of whom he is afraid. The answer will be different in relation to different people. Now, when we say fear of Allah, for instance, we all fear of Allah, don't we have fear of Allah, don't we? Or we are not true believers. And Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam himself said, Ana atqakum. I am the one who fears Allah most. So it is that fear perhaps which made him shudder at the closeness of God. When he was overwhelmed by the awe of God. He remembered Him, he loved Him without seeing Him, without having this experience of being so close. So I believe it was that which shattered him. And whenever you are in shock, you always suffer from sudden loss of temperature, heat, internal heat, and sometimes people collapse and die under the shock because of losing energy very rapidly. So that loss of energy was due to this shock, which was spiritual in the sense that he never expected this to have happened to him. It was what a big moment of his life. And this fear was also related to his own humility. Every prophet of God, however big we see him, sees himself to be very small. You know why? Because in his mind there is the greatness of Allah. And when you have the greatness of Allah all the time, covering you and sheltering you and surrounding you, nothing looks great in comparison to God. And generally and truly they find themselves to have no significance whatsoever. It's only God who has significance. So this greatness of God and this experience of that greatest thing coming so close to him, coupled with his own assessment of his own self. What am I? I'm nothing. That was coupled with the responsibility which was mentioned right in the beginning. Iqra bismi rabbika allazi khalaq. The word Iqra means that he knew there was a sort of responsibility. He has to announce this to the whole world. So these were the underlying facts, psychological factors, which must have made him physically suffer. And with the grace of Allah, after a while, he recovered, and then he realized that he was actually chosen by God. And then, what was the name of the cousin of Hazrat Khadijah? Burqa bin Nawfal. He was called by Hazrat Khadijah to come and help him understand this experience. Although Hazrat Khadijah herself knew whatsoever there was no danger to him, because in those moments of fears, particularly when he thought he had nothing in him worthy of this grace from Allah, he might have entertained the remote fear of his being possessed by something else, maybe not something else, but his own ego might have shown him this. So, because of all these, he was in the state of very, great confusion in the beginning. All factors, surrounded him and crowded him. All sorts of thoughts may have been appearing here, now thinking of this, now thinking of that. So Hazrat Khadijah, addressing him, gave him the first assurance. He said, look here, whatever it was, one thing is certain, that you will not go waste. It's impossible. You do this, you do that, you are the living virtue. All the morals which are lost to mankind, they live in you. You are the living symbol of the best morals. How on earth could God abandon you or let you to perish? So one thing is certain, don't worry about that. You're in safe hands. God will take care of you. But to have further assurance, she invited her cousin, Warqa bin Nawfal, who was known to be a believer in one God, and he was known also to be a very pious person, who was dedicated to God and godliness, but people did not hate him, they respected him for that, because he was not appointed by God to the office of prophethood. It is the office of prophethood which people hate. They can tolerate anything. So goodly people, godly people were not hated by the Arabs, despite the fact that they were mushrikeen, they were idolaters. Yet that a single person loving God did not create a challenge to their system of worship and idolatry. So there was no need for any hatred. People, maybe they thought, we'll gain something out of him. So he was a well-respected person. It was he who came, and when he listened carefully to the experience, he said, this experience tells me, this all the things you have told me, they remind me of prophethood. But instead of saying that, he started speaking of the bad times which would come to Muhammad Mustafa. He said, Allah help you when people will hate you, people will turn against you. So Rasulullah was amazed. He said, on the one hand, he is told that he is appointed by God to such a high status. On the other, people will hate me, people will stone me, they will try to kill me and this and that. Why should this happen? So then Warqa bin Nawfal told him, these are the ways, the sunnah of all the prophets of Allah before you. So be ready and muster all your strength to discharge this great responsibility. This is all about the Zammiluni, why he said it. Right?
bin Nawfal
But before that, she herself reassured him that he takes care of the needy, the destitute, the orphans, the widows, and all whom people don't care, for whom people do not care. So he is reviving the lost morality, lost morals, and in him they live. How could God let him go waste? It's impossible. That is what she said from herself first. After that, to reassure him further, then she invited Warqa bin Nawfal. Right?
Yes.